It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
Center open.
At Rose Hill Gymnasium, the scene shifts to quarterfinal number 3. We already know one semifinal that has been booked. Now one of these two teams, it's a classic matchup. It's the defending champs in Archbishop Stepanak against the Cinderella story, the Knights of Holy Cross. This quarterfinal showdown presented by Maspeth Federal Savings. And we welcome you back inside Rose Hill Gymnasium. Dylan Butler alongside Oliver Antigua. And as we mentioned just moments ago, we already know two semifinalists at this point. And it wasn't easy for either, but it's St. Ray's and St. Francis Prep. Now it's on the other side of the bracket. And as we mentioned, this is a classic matchup, Oliver, between the team that everyone expects to make another run to that second Sunday in March, to the team that nobody wants to play at this time of year. Should be fun.
No question about it. And if the last two games are any indication, we're going to be in for a treat. This is March Madness at Rose Hill. I expect a dogfight. Nobody wants to go home. Holy Cross is playing with house money. Stepanak's the favorite. They got to come out, pressure on them to play well. Kind of see how this game plays out and which side kind of dictates tempo and pace. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, those are storylines that we'll dig into. But first, let's take a look at the bracket and how these two teams got here. And it starts Archbishop Stepanak, of course, by winning the New York Archdiocese. They get a bye straight to this game. And meanwhile, you talk about survive in advance and a big opportunity. Holy Cross went to a couple of overtimes to beat St. Peter's. So they already have that game under their belt of the adversity, of battling, of playing for your playoff lives. And they did a great job in beating St. Peter's to get here to Rose Hill.
Winning this time of year is great and it's important for confidence, especially your young team.
So we take a look at Holy Cross as the Knights are warming up. We saw them early in the season at St. Francis Prep in the Battle of the Boulevard. At that time, Billy Turnage said, I haven't had my whole team all year. It's been injuries, it's been the flu, it's been other situations. And while they're still not completely full just yet, they do bring back a big piece of the puzzle in Avery Tate Christina. And with Avery Tate Christina, the senior, the leader, he got hurt early in the season and then he missed a couple of weeks in the middle. But since he's been back, this Knights team, they have rolled. They've only lost 3 times with him on the floor.
Yeah, and we spoke to Coach Turnage about his team. He made a huge emphasis on how Avery is such an important piece. He calls them the aura of the team and sees why he's so important to their success. So obviously getting a piece like that back helps you in the playoff time, and it makes you very dangerous when your team is clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, Holy Cross 13-14 on the season, but again, do not judge this book by that cover. They are a very dangerous team here in March. Two guys they will rely on today, Oliver, are the players to watch for Holy Cross, Dylan Stanley and Peyton Wilson.
And Wilson is a 6'7" freshman. Dylan Stanley, is a 6'7" senior, athletic big man that plays the interior for the Knights. 12 points a game, 6 rebounds, and leads the team in block shots. He will need to provide senior leadership if the Knights want to knock off the defending champions. And this young fella, Preston Wilson, super diaper dandy, 6'7" freshman, double-double for Coach Turnage, 10 points a game, 12 rebounds, is long, lengthy, athletic wing that can handle and shoot and can guard anyone. One of the bright young players in the Catholic League.
Dylan Stanley, Peyton Wilson. Holy Cross has length. They're one of the few teams that has length to battle Stepanak's length. And when we talk about Archbishop Stepanak, we've told this story a few times this year. You lose a McDonald's All-American and potential lottery pick in Boogie Flans. You lose a 6'8" shooter in Braylon Ritvo, now playing at Quinnipiac. Most other teams in this Catholic League, they've got to rebuild. But Pat Massaroni's Crusaders are not most teams. As you see, what a great season for them. 22-4 on the year. They win the Archdiocesan Championship. They are the favorite to win for a third straight year. Two reasons why are our impact players for them. Two big-time leaders. Your only senior on this team, Danny Carbucia, and a big-time junior in Josiah Jervis.
And let's take a look at the impact players. First, you have senior guard Danny Carbucia, 6'1", point guard, UMass commit. Runs the show for Coach Massaroni, 11 points a game, 7 assists. He is a terrific downhill guard and is an elite defender, provides leadership. And he also has the ability to attack the basket off the bounce. Super aggressive, talented, hard to guard, runs the show. And his backcourt mate, Josiah Jervis, 6'5" junior guard from the Boogie Down, leads the team in scoring at 16 points a game. This is a high major prospect that can score it on all 3 levels, Dylan. First team All-League, one of the top players in New York City.
It is Stepanak, it is Holy Cross. Keys, lineups, and the opening tip when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Every day opens a new door to grow, to build relationships. Every moment, a chance to do more. To buy a home, grow a business, start a family. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
We're going to keep this quick.
Because at Blaze Pizza,
artisanal quality at crazy fast speed is what we're all about.
Walk the line and choose any toppings you'd like.
Then it's just 180 seconds in our blazing hot oven
for fast fire perfection.
Come check us out and build your own pizza at Blaze Pizza.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
As West barks out the signal. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Southside.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Back at Rose Hill Gymnasium, Dylan Butler, Oliver Antigua, our entire Varsity Media crew. third quarterfinal just about set to start. But first, let's take a look at our keys to the game for both of these teams.
And for Holy Cross, run Ratliff off the line, keep Carbuccia out of the paint, and don't let Caresi and Jarvis go crazy. And for Archbishop Stepanak, keys for them is attack the middle of the zone, limit Holy Cross paint touches, and control the glass.
And those Knights, maybe they learned a thing or two from the last quarterfinal game, right? As Cardinal Hayes nearly pulled off the upset of these playoffs by beating St. Francis Prep. Terriers survived in advance. Let's take a look at the starting five for Holy Cross. And with Tate Christina back in, this is largely what Billy Turnage has gone with. Jazir Crawford, Tate Christina, KG Clifton, Peyton Wilson, and Dylan Stanley. A solid starting five for Holy Cross. And again, one that has some length that maybe a St. Raymond's, maybe the only other team that I can think of off the top of my head that has similar length to compete with a Stepanak.
Yeah, and at this time of year, it's all about matchups. And Holy Cross has some good guys that can match up.
And there's a good look in the huddle. Billy Turnage in his second season as head coach. 1993 graduate of Andrew Jackson, was a student at Holy Cross. He watched his son win today, and he wants the Turnage sweep this afternoon. Let's take a look at the starting lineup now for Archbishop Stepanak. And when things are going well, why change it, right? So you've got Carbuccia, Caresi, Perry, Adonis Ratliff, and Josiah Jervis. This is a team that has more depth than anybody in this league. It's trying to manage the minutes of all those guys around you. Helping that in a weird way, because you'd rather him on the court, is the injury to Darius Ratliff. That means there's more minutes for others to be had.
And Adonis blew up at the Archdiocesan Finals at St. Ray's, went off for 26 and like 13 rebounds. Huge game for him and taking advantage of that playing time.
And inside that huddle is Pat Massaroni, 10th season, a 2006 graduate of Archbishop Stepanak. He is the all-time winningest coach at Stepanak, and he wants to get his guys back to the Final Four, but he knows it won't be easy. It's hard to wear the heavy is, Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and that's what Archbishop Stepanak is right now against this upstart Holy Cross team.
When you're the best, you get everybody's best shot. All the kids are focused on the scouting report. They come out playing hard because they know they got to bring it. So it's not easy being the favorite every night, night in, night out, and getting challenged. So he's done a great job navigating, and that's why he's the coach of the year.
And what Billy Turnage wanted to do with this program in his second season is earn respect. Well, you know what, Billy? Your guys are in the quarterfinals. You've got a puncher's chance. You've earned that respect here in year two with the Knights as the tip goes to the Crusaders.
Holy Cross comes out in zone.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do here. I expect something maybe similar to what they threw at St. Francis Prep, right? A lot of different looks. Ratliff for three. The bank is open.
And if you're Coach Massaroni and your first one goes in, you're happy against the zone. A little bit unorthodox, but we'll take it.
And suddenly, Billy Turnage's first key just went out the window. Turnover for the Knights, which is one thing you've got to really limit. One thing that we didn't, I think, have as one of those keys, but it was certainly something that Billy Turnage mentioned. We can't afford to let the Crusaders go on a big run. Right? The Knights have managed that in other games. But this is not the stage where you can go down by double digits and expect to rally against the champs. Good deflection by Stanley.
And good defense gives you a chance. And you talked about being more efficient on this end on offense. So look to see how they move the ball around and try to get good shots up.
Yeah, Turnage mentioned the first shot efficiency. That's been a struggle for these Knights. As it's Jazir Crawford. Tried to hand off. Ratliff gets his paws on it. Stays for the Knights. That's an open three. Back rim no good. And the rebound goes to Carbucia. Carbucia ahead of the field. The layup is good. And right away, Billy Turnage wants to talk things over. A 30-second timeout for Holy Cross.
And if you want to see how good an athlete Danny Carbucia is, he just demonstrated how fast he takes off there in transition, blows by everybody, and gets to the basket uncontested. You got a 5-0 early lead for Stepanak.
Yeah, Carbucia will play some basketball games here at Rose Hill over the next couple of years. Heading to UMass, part of the A10.
Playing for Coach Martin, good friend of mine, up there doing a great job, and excited to have this great prospect coming into the fold next year to help his team run the show.
And one thing that Massaroni said, he said, Danny, you're going to play for Coach Martin. You better play defense. And Carbucia has elevated that part of his game this season.
Challenge accepted.
And on cue, knocks the ball away from Jazir Crawford.
So Stepanak is so long and athletic that you got to really be patient and work your offense to get a good shot. You can't just try to attack them one-on-one because they're going to have help defense.
Goes back to Crawford. Crawford looks for the screen from Peyton Wilson. Maybe a little bit of a pick and pop. They go to take Christina, and again, the length of Stepanak altering those passes.
Caressi's a 6'5" guard, and he's on the perimeter. That's most forwards in high school. So they just got a lot of long-winded athletic guys.
Clifton inbounds. Here's Crawford up top. 5 on the shot clock. I'm not sure Crawford realizes that. Now he perhaps does. That off the mark. It could have continued to go to Stepanak. Our officials for today's game, Sean Morgan, Michael Van Gelder, and Michael Lacasio Jr.
Good veteran crew on hand, as you expect. Catholic League does a great job putting on his playoffs.
Carbucia to Ratliff. He has lived from that three-point line in the Bronx. First, it was at Mount St. Michael in the Archdiocesan Final, and it continues here in Rose Hill.
And you got to pick your point with Stepanak. The two-man game with Danny, who's a threat, and Adonis, and you got to decide which one you're going to take away. That time they stay with Danny. The pick and pop to Ratliff, sets his feet, and knocks down a three.
The Crusaders having no issues with first shot efficiency. They're 3 for 3. That's why they have an 8-0 lead. Good look down low. And there's the first bucket for Holy Cross. It goes to the 6'6" senior and Dylan Stanley.
And nice job getting it close to the basket to get you on the board here and stop this run.
Dylan Perry. Caressi.
So Holy Cross plays a matchup. Looks like a man, but they kind of extend it.
And Jervis right in front of the Holy Cross bench. 11-2 the lead for the Crusaders. They are not messing around.
Jervis is an all-league team's leading scorer. And so far, Stepanak is hitting on all cylinders.
Crawford, pump fake, corner, 3, good. And Dylan Stanley's got all 5 of the Knights' points to this point.
And love to see that from your senior leader. Good sign for Holy Cross.
And that time Ratliff missed, but Perry with the rebounds. Nice pump fake, which forced Peyton Wilson up in the air. And Wilson is called for the foul.
And Dylan Perry, a 6'7" junior, does a lot of the dirty work, doesn't get as much recognition, but is a really important part of this team because he gets offensive rebounds, plays defense, moves the ball, and does a nice job filling that role.
6'7's the junior. 65% from the foul line. Perry's got Siena, Manhattan, Quinnipiac, FDU, Columbia, and Yale looking at him.
As they should.
In and out. So an empty trip to the foul line for Perry. Tate Christina. His return, as we mentioned, just elevated this whole group. It brought an extra bunch of belief. That an errant pass, though, by Wilson, picked off by Perry. And now here's Carbucia. You want to limit his paint touches? He gets in the lane again.
And that time was a nice challenge by Holy Cross to get the hand up on that shot.
KG Clifton from the corner. The flamethrower.
And coach gives him the green light, and you can see why. Beautiful shot from the 6'5" junior.
Jervis wants to respond in kind. That off the mark. A collision down low. You're already down one, Ratliff. You don't want to lose a second if you're a Stepanak.
Yeah, nice job by Clifton on the weak side box out, making sure the 6'9" center does not get an offensive rebound.
So good job by Holy Cross. They answered that initial wave by Stepanak, and they've chipped away.
And if you notice, they're coming down, taking their time on offense. They're not going fast. They're trying to use the clock and get good shots.
That's another good one. That was missed by Clifton. Gets his own rebounds. Take Christina. What a look inside for Stanley. Contact, but no foul. In transition come the Crusaders. Caressi. The officials letting him play. Jervis inside. Can't get the finish. And now a foul is called on the big boy rebound by Peyton Wilson.
And Stepanak is really dangerous in transition. They pushed the ball. Caressi missed, but they got 2 and 3 attempts at it. You got to make sure you limit them to one and done.
Stanley. Wilson turns, loses it. Carbucia. Caressi. Oh, my goodness.
A lot of contact on there.
They call a jump ball, and the possession goes to Holy Cross.
Well, Danny really quick on the defensive end, got a steal, made a beautiful bounce pass to Caressi, but did not get the call, and we're going the other way.
Tate Christina. He was guarded there by Josh Rivera, who's had added minutes in this postseason. He's earned them. That jumper off the mark. Stanley can't corral it. And it will go to Stepanak. Talking about added minutes and earning it. That's been the definition of Jalen Mayhew's second half of the regular season and into the playoffs. He has been outstanding down the stretch for these Crusaders. Real energy guy, number 12 for Stepanak. Foul line jumper off the mark. And now an opportunity maybe for something in transition for the Knights. Stanley. Backdoor cut, the extra pass. That is pretty stuff from the Knights as Wilson finishes inside.
And when you got 3 guys touching the ball in a half-court possession, cutting and moving leads to a pretty high rate of efficiency, and that's a great shot, great job there by Holy Cross.
Carbucia from the top. Tough jumper by Adonis Ratliff.
And if you're Crawford, you're 5'11" and 6'9", there's nothing really you can do about it. You're not going to affect the shot. Beautiful turnaround jump shot by Ratliff.
Crawford, foul line jumper. No good. Ratliff loses it. And it will stay with Holy Cross. Holy Cross, the BQ4. 13 and 14 on the year. Stepanak NY1. Not the channel, but their seed. It's not that pure seeding like you would have in, say, the NCAA tournament where you go 1 through 64, top of the key. Oh, the friendly bounce for Tate Christina. We're tied at 13.
Soft rims of Rose Hill.
Not for Ratliff. Front rim on that one. Now a chance for the Knights, maybe to hold for the last. But they are cocky. They are confident. Thanks to Tate Christina. He's given Holy Cross their first lead.
And a nice drive baseline. Good find, heads up play by Crawford, hitting him on the cut. He draws, he attacks Ratliff, and still was able to finish over the 6'9" defender.
Ratliff fouled by Stanley. Oh, we started 11-2 in this game, and Holy Cross has fought its way back. They have clawed to take a lead, but Ratliff on the line to try to tie things up.
And Coach Turnage mentioned that about his scoring drought. So they start the game off in a scoring drought, then they get hot, right? And so, like, how do you find that consistency where you're not going over these highs and lows? Because you get at the wrong time of the game, and it can put you in a bad situation.
Adonis Ratliff shooting 81% from the line, from the foul line, excuse me. He goes 1 of 2.
And the thing in this game, Stepanak's going to keep bringing waves at you and fresh bodies and depth. So at some point, you got to make sure that you're getting good shots.
Count it! Crawford trying to get the and one. It was not called, but he beats the buzzer, and it's the Knights, Oliver. 18-14 lead.
And Crawford sizes it up. 2 guys come at him, gets it off, time and score, gets the harm, no foul, but I got the 3 at the buzzer. Big time shot by the junior for Holy Cross.
The Knights with a 4-point lead after 1. You're watching the Catholic AA quarterfinals on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
A look inside the Holy Cross bench. It's the Knights. They survived that early onslaught by Stepanak, and they've got the 18-14 lead. Dylan Butler, Oliver Antigua here at Fordham's Rose Hill Gymnasium.
And a nice job by Holy Cross to respond and got a couple of shots going. Stanley got going early, and then Crawford made some shots, and then Christina jumped in the scoring column.
Loose ball, Tate Christina gets on it. Rivera lost it.
Unforced turnovers kill you.
And 3 subs at the Stepanak bench as Crawford.
And the acrobatic finish and the attention to detail to hang in the air and avoid the block and get it off the backboard with the lefty.
Crawford with 5 straight. The triple by Rivera to answer.
And Rivera's hit some big shots for this team. He comes off the bench, instant offense.
Mayhew. Get out of here, said Stanley.
And that was a big time block because that could have been an easy basket.
Crawford the kick. And now they want to set things up. Does Holy Cross.
And I like what they're doing, Dylan. They're playing at a nice pace. They're taking fast breaks when they can, but they're making sure they make Stepanak play defense.
Say Christina, 3 offensive rebounds, and Wilson gets the put back.
And the quick first jump and the long, lengthy athleticism helping them.
Oh, and another back-to-back triples for Rivera, a guy who shoots 36% from beyond the arc.
And what a great option to have if you're Coach Massaroni. You come to a bench, go to your bench with a 6'7" heater, automatic 6'7" shooter comes off the bench and hits 2 threes in a row for you.
This is why nobody cried for Stepanak when Boogie Flans graduated in May. Crawford, rejected by Perry. The ball stays with the Knights, but the shot clock is winding down. It's down to 5. Stanley steps back. 3. Back rim no good. Rebound goes to Perry, and here's Carbucia. Coco to Carbucia to the hot hand in Rivera. They'll give that to Carbucia. It has been a struggle for Danny from beyond the arc, but Perry with the foul line put back.
And that's really important for him to get that mid-range jump shot, because he can hit that, and you're right. That's one of the areas Danny needs to improve, and the teams are going to back off him and give him that shot. He's got to show he can make one before they respect him.
Tate Christina puts it on the floor, loses it. Here comes Mayhew the other way. Mayhew. You love, Oliver, the angle that Mayhew took to draw the foul on Avery Tate.
Yeah, did a nice job. He saw the defender. He took a step, like a Euro step crossover, protect the basketball, and draws the foul and gets to shoot 2.
And as you mentioned, Mayhew, the junior from the Bronx, first one off the mark. He has been outstanding down the stretch. You love it when the guy who just works his tail off gets rewarded for the effort by getting points and playing valuable minutes. You don't just give them out. It's not a charity. You've got to earn them, and Mayhew has done that. He goes to the bench after that made free throw, gives Stepanak the 1-point lead.
And coaches love to reward effort, and he's doing a great job, and coach has a lot of respect and trust in him. And they keep going to the bench, and we got a new subs to come in.
Wilson misses the putback, or misses the shot. Putback also missed. Pat Massaroni said, please go to the monitor on that one.
Having a little discussion, a disagreement. Looks like Holy Cross is going to retain the possession.
I joke, of course, I kid, no monitor in high school basketball.
That's the next level. Man, that is the next level, baby. Ooh, I like this.
Here's Wilson. Ooh. Jack Coco draws the charge.
And he's going to learn, because he had a smaller guard. He didn't have to be as physical. All he had to do was turn and shoot over him. But he took a very powerful dribble, thinking there was a big guy behind him, and it was the little guard, and he just not going to get away with that.
And these are the droughts that Billy Turner's worried about, right? Like you can't, there's only so many times you can go to the well against a team like Stepanak. And it puts added pressure on this side of the ball. If you're Holy Cross, Coco misses his.
Coach wants to run, trying to get something in early offense, but now they're going to get into their half court.
Here's Crawford. Wants Aston Lewis to come his way. Lewis, he's got Coco, figured he'd attack him, and he'll go to the foul line. Smart play by Aston Lewis.
And nice job by Aston Lewis, a 6'1" senior, getting a post up, taking advantage of his position there, and draws the foul.
Lewis, the senior, just under 4 points a game, season high 15. Misses the first free throw. But he's a guy who's important because he brings a lot of experience to a young or a team. I think Billy Turner said to me when we talked ahead of the first Battle of the Boulevard, hey, we're not young, but there's a lot of inexperience on this team. This second free throw is good. So Lewis brings that, and you feel good for him too, because he missed his freshman year with an ACL injury, had shoulder surgery last year. So this is his first full season playing. Hey, did you see it, Crawford? He's got a little something in his locker, right? Draws the offensive foul on Ratliff.
And Ratliff got a little frustrated there. He has a smaller guard on him. You don't want to push off there. The refs see that. That's a no-no, and it's a turnover going the other way.
You know what Crawford has in his game? And I think Billy Turnage maybe has something to do with it. He's got a little Ty Turnage in his game, right? Where he draws it with that, like, kind of with the head motions. He tried to draw that on that made three at the end of the quarter as well. Missed three by Clifton, allows Carbucia to get out and run.
And he's in the open court and pushing the ball, getting downhill. Puts a lot of pressure on your defense. Draws the foul there. Stepanak's going to keep the ball underneath.
Crawford out. Take Christina back in. His first game back, Take Christina, also meant to start as, look at that move by Josiah Jervis.
And he catches and rips, shows his athleticism with the blow-by. Beautiful move going left and finish for the junior.
But Take Christina's first game back was against Malloy. It also started a 4-game winning streak, which included a Tier 1 win, if you will, against St. Francis Prep at Holy Cross. Take Christina misses it in the lane, and now the Crusaders get out. And that's when that Jervis maybe wants back. He tried to force it inside to Carbusia. Fortunate for Stepanak, though, the ball stays with them.
And if I'm coach, I'm playing at this pace. I don't mind that guys getting out. Great job by Holy Cross getting back on defense because they're very dangerous in transition. And you look at the score of this game with 3 minutes to go. Holy Cross is only down 2. Low-scoring game favors the underdog.
Crawford back in for a Musin to Lawase. Foul called. That's on Stanley, his second.
And Caressi can do that. He's a tough guard. He can put it on the floor at 6'5". He can get by bigger guys and use his size to get smaller. Tough matchup. Really like his future potential as a prospect.
He knocks down the first. His older brothers both played college basketball. Suleiman, he was 6'8", 6'9" his senior year. Crawford.
That's a big-time shot because Caressi actually contested that, and that was a tough 2 that he made over the defender.
And if you're Holy Cross, you like that Crawford is doing what he's doing because he's the engine. He's what kind of gets this team going, especially when Take Christina was out.
And to keep up with this high-powered offense, you got to make sure you keep answering, and that's a good sign for Coach Turnage if Crawford can keep knocking down shots.
And now Take Christina with the rejection from behind on Ratliff. Attacks the paint. Ratliff says, "I'm right back at you, big man." Here's Perry, the Euro step and the finish.
And if you want to sum up how dangerous Stepanak is, that was block shot to layup in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Big time execution.
Here's Crawford. It's a 4-point lead for Stepanak. If you're Holy Cross here, you want to keep this one tight to go into halftime with. You could ill afford those, though.
And those are killers, those unforced turnovers there. Bad pass, went through the legs, and now you give a team that just scored in 3 seconds another chance to add to this lead, and you don't want to do that.
Talawase back in for Holy Cross. And Rivera with the triple. And suddenly Stepanak extending their lead 32-25. Timeout called by Holy Cross. Billy Turnage realizes the importance here. It is a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay right here. And Billy Turnage, as you see the last 4 years, weird to think a team that went 5-20 made the quarterfinals. That was that COVID or the return from COVID for Holy Cross. But this is year 2. Year 1 was 9-17. So already, every coach wants to be better than the previous year. You want to improve year over year. And that's exactly what Billy Turnage has done. You go from 9-17 with a first round loss to now 13-14 in the quarterfinals. So they went +1 in the diocesan tournament, reaching the semifinals, and they went +1 in the intersectional tournament as well. Loose ball. That was all set up by Carbusia. Great defense by Danny. And now an opportunity for Stepanak. To continue this run. Three-point shot. Buried by Ratliff. That's now a 10-point lead. A 9-0 run for the Crusaders. They're not done just yet. Rivera, back rim, no good, loose ball. Chase down, who gets it? It'll stay with the Crusaders. A 5-second differential from shot clock and game clock. Here's Carbusia. A big end to this first half. Stepanak has their largest lead. They want to extend on that now. Carbusia guarded closely by Crawford. 13 seconds. The look down low. What a look! And Josiah Jervis to finish. 12-point lead for the Crusaders. An 11-0 run to end the first half. Crawford again beats the buzzer. He did it in the first quarter, and he does it in the second quarter as well. What a shot. Another look by Crawford. Buries the triple. It's a 37-28 lead for Stepanak. Big end of the half for Pat Massarone's guys. And we've got Oliver Antigua down courtside with the Crusaders head coach.
Coach, great start to start the game. You believe you started an 11-0 run, got your guys locked in. Ratliff shooting terrific. Rivera off the bench, and Jervis really giving you some great minutes in the first half. What do you like from your team so far?
Thought we came out hot. Second, end of the second half of that first quarter, we were not good defensively. I think they had like 19 points. I just like the intensity that we've turned up in the last 5 or 6 minutes defensively. And then I told them we could shoot threes, but I want us to get to the lane first. And that's what we're doing. Danny, right, he's got 7 assists. The drive and kick there to Rivera. Drive and kick to Adonis. Josiah on the baseline out, rip and drive with his left hand. So continue to attack, but for us, it's on the defensive end.
Okay, so you're going in with a 9-point lead. What are you going to talk to your team about, and what can we see coming out from your guys in the second half?
We got to get 3 stops. We got to keep 5 out of the lane. We knew he was a tough little lefty there, and we got to continue to trust getting in the lane on the offensive end, but we got to get stops, and that's the biggest thing coming out.
All right, thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way. Dylan, back to you.
Thanks, Oliver. Thanks, Pat, as well. It's halftime here at Rose Hill. It's a 37-28 lead for Stepanak. We'll have first half stats and more when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Every day opens a new door to grow, to build relationships. Every moment, a chance to do more. To buy a home, grow a business, start a family. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
Varsity Media is now opening up our schedule to any team looking to be on a sportscast. Watching yourself on camera is okay, but hearing your name on a Varsity Media sportscast is like you're a pro.
And look at this opportunity. Feldman behind. Jersey pulled. Feldman! Feldman!
The loose ball, Keyshawn White has it. He's just going to let it fly. Oh! Keyshawn White from half court. That is cash. What a way to end the third quarter.
As West barks out the signals. West is going to keep it himself inside the 5 to the goal line. Touchdown! Touchdown, Southside.
Varsity Media offers sports coverage for any sport, and our coverage airs live and on demand so everyone can watch the game. Now is the time to be a star on Varsity Media. Contact us to book a sportscast today at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
Varsity Media's hype videos stand out with dynamic visuals and storytelling. Our primary goal is to create a memorable impression, excitement, and interest that encourages viewers to engage and participate. Our hype video can be shown on stadium video boards, social media, and school websites. Our hype videos are the perfect feature to get your community amped up for the team and the big game. Hey parents, Varsity Media is now offering ISO video of just your athlete. Why settle for the wide angle that shows every player on the field? With our ISO video, your athlete is front and center the entire game. This footage will help in creating highlight videos for college coaches to better pinpoint your athlete's play on the field. Watching our video will help your athlete improve progressively throughout the season and may lead to a college scholarship. Varsity Media is now booking ISO videos for the spring, but spots are limited. Contact us today for lacrosse, baseball, softball, and tennis by calling 516-403-2050 or emailing ben@varsitymedia.net.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
He's got room to go. Merrill towards the end zone. Lost his lid. Touchdown!
JJ Damo, face on, stay on athlete. Controlling the face-off. That's 3 in a row now.
This is Jalen Brunson, you're watching Varsity Media.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network. Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. High school sports fans, Varsity Media is the exclusive live stream partner of Nassau County Championships. To live stream fall, winter, and spring championship events, head to varsitymediapass.com to order. Now accessible on smart TVs. Varsity Media is your home for the Nassau County Championships. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
It's time to book a Varsity Media Sportscast and get on the big stage. A Varsity Media Sportscast is seen by thousands of people, both live and on demand, from friends and family all over the world to prospective college coaches. Our announcers will help tell the story of your team and your athletes. There is no bigger stage to be on than Varsity Media. Book a sportscast today by contacting Varsity Media. When it comes to live streaming, Varsity Media does it all. Athletic events, concerts, musicals, graduations, even weddings. Trust Varsity Media when it comes to your live stream event. Contact us today to learn more about Varsity Media's live streaming services at 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net. Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
Back at Rose Hill Gymnasium, Dylan Butler, Oliver Antigua, our entire Varsity Media staff. Before the start of the third quarter, let's take a look at some of those first half stats. And he's the rebounding +1 for Holy Cross, but 8 turnovers for the Knights.
Yeah, and both teams shooting well. Holy Cross 42%. Stepanak 52% from the field. Defenses, I'm sure, would be talked about at halftime. Come out, play guard, play better defense to lower those percentages.
Jasir Crawford on the ball now. He's leading the Knights both in stats and highlight reel plays. He ended both quarters with those threes. Big time rejection from Ratliff. Here comes Carbusia doing what he does best, getting in the paint. And the put back by Ratliff. That is playing both ends of the floor.
And the kid's going to have his own highlight reel. Monster block and an almost finished tip back dunk. What a possession for Ratliff, showing you why he's one of the top prospects in the country.
His dad Theo's like, that's my boy. I taught him that.
Yeah, and
especially on the defensive side.
And we talk about his shooting and offense prowess, but he doesn't get enough credit for how good a defender he is. He uses his length, challenges his shots, and making it hard for teams to score.
Stanley misses it inside. And you can see the frustration from Billy Turnage as the Crusaders ended the first half on an 11-0 run. Now they're looking to add to it. The floater in the lane by Caresi as that lead continues to balloon for Stepanak.
And now you see the danger zone of the offensive weapons that Stepanak runs at you. It's not one guy, it's not two, it's multiple guys that can score on Caresi with the beautiful floater, getting in the lane, extending this lead.
Holy Cross led 22-20. And right now, the Crusaders with their largest lead. That tells you the kind of difference we're at now. It's 41-28.
Well, Coach talked about playing better defense at halftime, and I think the guys got the memo. Stepanak is really pressuring and locking up and challenging shots and getting stops and getting multiple stops.
So the Knights, they need a basket in the worst way here. They did a great job early. They were down 11-2. They took the lead, won the shot clock, and there's that defense you referred to. Shot clock violation for Holy Cross.
And nothing makes a coach happier when you can guard an entire possession defensively. Don't give up an open shot and get a shot clock violation. Hats off to those guys. Great defensive, great team defense.
And now Stepanek, perhaps smelling blood in the water. Ratliff.
Great half-court execution, ran a stack against the zone. Ratliff with the curl, and
Carbuccia pulls up, in and out. He got the steal, missed the jumper.
You kind of feel like this is Holy Cross's danger zone. This game can get away quickly if they don't settle down and start playing better.
Stanley, contested jumper. We go the other way. When Carbuccia gets in the open floor and everybody else runs with him, that's, I think, when Stepanek is at its most dangerous.
No question. You can go either way. They got weapons on both wings. You got a 6'9" guy trailing. Everybody can shoot. Pick your poison.
That's, what do you call it? I guess champagne problems if you're
That's
Danny
right.
Carbuccia, right?
That's right.
Well, he doesn't know that yet. I guess apple cider maybe for him.
That's right. Great pass.
It is a great pass, and it's Perry getting fouled on his way to the basket.
And this is the pace, if you're Coach Massaroni, you love to see, because in transition, they're so hard to guard and get a lot of guys some good shots. And Perry's the recipient of a beautiful cut, sprint down and get a chance to get to the free throw line.
Perry missed his first 2 free throws. 4 points, front rim on that one for him.
And we'll take another look at it. That's a beautiful dime by Danny, and Perry running down the lane, gets the foul. Nice job in transition.
Second free throw, no good.
Coach gonna have a word with them about those easy points they're leaving out there.
You coaches always have something to
Use
talk
as
to your team
motivation.
about. Yeah, no
Absolutely.
doubt. Like, you won by 35, but why'd you reach in there in the third quarter?
Well, that's kind of the challenge, right? How do you motivate back-to-back city champions?
Sure.
A team that's talented, high expectations. You got to find these game within the games, like, hey, we didn't really make our free throws, or we didn't take away this aspect of the game, and you got to do that all year long.
Here's Caressi to Perry. And the other part of it, especially for Massaroni, and we mentioned it during the regular season, is also managing minutes, and that's not easy as well. And again, it's a good problem to have. But
Yeah,
when
it
you
is.
rotate so many guys, right, how do you make sure that enough guys get enough minutes?
And to be on a team, you got to be unselfish. You got to sacrifice. And if you do that, usually the reward is what's at the end of the rainbow for you. And that's a challenge, not easy to do. A lot of personalities, a lot of families, a lot of influence, right? AAU guys and handlers, they want their kid to shine. But when you put it all together, you get on a run like they have the last 2 years and cut down the nets.
Crawford again to the basket, adding to his highlight tape this afternoon. Jervis, the kick out. But for Stepanek, as there's a car crash, an offensive foul called by Caressi.
And we have a little conversation because one ref called the block, one ref called the foul. Perfect example of a 50-50 call as coaches. They can go either way.
What do you got? I got this. What do you got? Well, I got the other thing.
Let's see what they say here.
All right. Well, how about you over there? You have anything?
And as always, you're going to have a happy coach and an unhappy coach when the call goes against your guy, right? Oh, they called the jump ball. So Billy's still upset because they didn't get possession. I love it.
But to that earlier point, right, about minutes and managing it and personalities, the thing that Pat Massaroni said about his team all year long is it's a we mentality, and it's something that they've embraced throughout the season, and that mantra has helped them carry themselves to this point where they're 22-4, back-to-back champs, and the odds-on favorite to win it again.
And you could tell a lot about a team, about how they pass the ball and how different guys get shots. Unselfish, great coaching job and teaching by his staff as Stepanek plays the right way.
And listen, you've been on that sideline that Billy Turnage is on right now. It makes it nearly impossible to defend, right? Because what is your game plan? I mean, yes, it can start with keeping Carbuccia out of the paint, because that puts out maybe 3 or 4 other fires that can happen after it.
No question.
Clifton, talking about fires, that's the guy to ignite things from beyond the arc for the Knights.
And he's got a good-looking stroke. That almost was a turnover.
And here comes Holy Cross again. It's 10 points. But Danny said, put some respect on my ability to knock down the triple.
And if he starts making that shot, you got problems, Dylan, because there's really nothing they can't do.
Carbuccia on the season, 16% from beyond the arc, but that's a pretty nice looking three-pointer from Carbuccia, the first team all-league selection out of Stepanak.
And he starts making that, watch out. Stepanak is going to be pretty hard to defend in the half court.
Take a look at those all-league selections first. Third team, what you like about these games too, right? You see a lot of these guys, and Malik Fields, if you were to have a all quarterfinal team, Malik Fields might be the player of the quarterfinals. What a great run he had. We take a look at the second team and some guys that we'll see, especially in the game coming up. Ramirez, Alston, and Callahan. Turnage has survived in advance. Butler has as well. And the first team, a lot of these guys, right? Jervis, Carbuccia, Johnny Keenan coming up next. Your Anthony, Osman Asako we just saw, of course. And Brandon Storrs, a 3-time first team selection. Boogie Flan was that as well, but that's not the norm in this league.
And Boogie Flan is here today watching his alma mater. Came up from Arkansas, taking in the action.
Jervis from 3. Crawford.
And he's having himself a nice game for Holy Cross. Got to love how hard he plays and his ability to score the basketball.
But if you're the Knights, you need a stop. And that one pinballs around. It'll stay with Stepanak.
A nice job by Christina to get a hand in. That almost was an easy layup, but he sprinted back and got a deflection.
Jervis.
Big time three-point shot. This kid can really, really shoot it. Leads the team in scoring. 6'5" guard. One of the best prospects we have in New York City.
Yeah, that's the other part of it, right? If you are the rest of the coaches in the Catholic League, you will happily say goodbye to Danny Carbuccia, but you return everybody else.
It's amazing the talent level that's at Stepanak and what they got.
Carbuccia splits defenders, can't get the finish. Look at Jervis. He's a high major. Look at the hustle back, even with his team up double digits.
Plays the right way, plays hard, and you got to love the job that these guys have done, and you could tell they're really locked in here and have taken control of this game.
Foul called. Crawford to inbound underneath. There's the kick out. Aston Lewis, a little shake and bake.
Shuffled the puppies, but got away with it.
Yeah, you could tell the jungle is here. That was the largest noise from them as another foul was called. This one on Perry. And with the ability to go as deep as you do for Stepanak, when you get into a little bit of a slugfest, if you will, there's a lot of fouls you can give.
No question, and you saw what happened at the St. Raymond's game where their key 3 guys were in foul trouble and Brandon Storrs wanted fouling out. When you got as many guys as Stepanak and you get 2 quick fouls, you can go to your bench and you don't lose anything, and sometimes you may gain something.
I'm a big fan, as there's a good look at Pat Master. I'm a big fan of Jazir Crawford. He's got moxie, right? You can see there too, right? Like he's at the foul line, like, no, it's me. The coach is like, the ref's like, no, you didn't get fouled.
Guards are always trying to take points away from the big guys, aren't they? They don't pass them the ball, then they try to steal their free throws. Come on.
And Peyton Wilson's a freshman. He's like, I can't complain. I'm only a freshman.
Yeah, he's not. He don't know any better. Talented kid, though. Super talented kid. Bright future. Love his energy and his athleticism. And he's only going to get better.
And he knocked down his free throws as well. Gets up on Jervis. Maybe a little bit of poke in the eye.
Yeah, refs missed that.
Rivera, what a hot hand he had in the first half from beyond the arc. 3 for 5 is Josh Rivera. All of his points on made threes.
Holy Cross in the matchup zone.
And Jervis.
He's going to shoot him out of it.
He absolutely will. His 4th 3. He's 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. He and Ratliff with 16 points apiece. Stanley goes inside, but if you're Holy Cross, you don't want to
trade
baskets. Yeah, not when it's 3 on one side and 2 on the other.
Yeah, they got to try to get a few stops in a row, but playing this matchup zone is pretty tough, especially with, you see Ratliff trying to create space in there. Great pass.
Oh, my goodness. That's the sharing of the basketball you mentioned. Ratliff underneath to Jervis for the slam. And then a kick ball called against Rivera.
And right now, they're clicking on all cylinders. They're playing great team defense. They're sharing the basketball, getting good shots, hitting outside shots. And you got the center dishing to the guard for a dunk on the baseline.
I think of the favorites to this point, you know, just about 3/4 full of this one and 2 other games in the books, Stepanek has been the most impressive.
No question about it. And when you play your best basketball at the end of the year as a coach, that's what you want to do. You know, the season's long, you go up and down. But right now, they are clicking on all cylinders.
Here's Caresi.
4-second differential in the shot clock in the game.
Jervis.
He got hit.
Oh, yeah. Foul by Wilson. Jervis now up to 18. How about 7 of 9 from the field, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, and these are his first free throws.
Yeah, they're playing that zone, and he's kind of the rover. He runs baseline to baseline looking for those opportunities, and they haven't been able to stop him from the perimeter. So that time he got fouled in the act of shooting.
And these numbers, this isn't a surprise. Look at his season numbers on the year. He's averaging 16.3 points a game. He's shooting, this is for the season now. This is through 26 games, 50% from the field, 81% from beyond the arc, and 38% from 3.
And that's why schools like Illinois, Rutgers, Duke, Carolina, all are reaching out and recruiting this young man. And that list is going to keep growing and growing, I promise you, as he continues his career.
Jazir Crawford looked to be a little bit out of control, but was fouled on his way to the basket. So the junior will go to the line. He averages 10 points a game. Knocks down the free throw. He's above that today. His season high 23. He's at 15 right now. Both of his threes beat the buzzer in both quarters.
And in a game like this, he's done his job, but he needs his help. If you look at the scoreboard, he's the only one in double digits. He's got to find some other guys to step up.
Carbucia trying to do Jazir Crawford things, but missed the buzzer beating 3. But what a quarter it was for Archbishop Stepanek.
And when you have a 6'9" big dashing it to Josiah Jervis, the wing, slams it down. Stepanek with a 19-point lead. Fourth quarter is coming up.
It's right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Every day opens a new door to learn, to grow, to connect with special people. People who in big ways and small improve your life. Every moment, another chance to achieve a goal, to buy a home, grow a business, start a family, and build lifelong relationships. Bank with trust. Bank with experts. Bank Maspeth.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Fourth quarter coming up here, and it is Archbishop Stepanak with a 60-41 lead over the Knights of Holy Cross. Dylan Butler, Oliver Antigua, our entire Varsity Media crew here. It is the third of 4 quarterfinal games. Tolawase with the bucket inside, but it is a large hill to climb, especially when Josiah Jervis is making shots. That a rare miss today for him. And it's Crawford to take Christina. The senior gets the ball back, hands it off. Tolawase misses. And Oliver, you feel for a guy like Tate Christina. He's a senior. He realizes the end game as Ratliff dials up another 3. And you just wish he was healthier this year. You hate when your senior leaders are rehabbing for so much of the year.
And that's pretty tough because during the basketball season, you got to practice every day to stay in rhythm. And when you get hurt, it really throws your team off. And there's really no time to get back into that 100%, you know? You're playing injured pretty much. And game by game, you know, you get banged up and just make it worse.
Ratliff sends that Stanley shot into the second row behind the Holy Cross bench.
I mean, the kid is doing it all. He's blocking shots. He's making threes. Impressive performance. 19, 3 and 3 assists for the big fella.
3 blocks. And Tate Christina gets a bucket inside.
And that was a nice move there. He got a little bit of a hit and still was able to finish that.
Ratliff, it's not the pass. That's one of those, right? Like that you pick apart if you're Massaroni.
Oh, there's no question he's showing that film tomorrow.
Then Adonis is like, Coach, what about all those threes and the blocks and the a little bit helter-skelter right now. Tolawase. Good defense by Carbucia. But the finish by Wilson. And you like that, right? That's why Massaroni's a 2-time Coach of the Year. He senses things are getting a little bit out of control. So we'll take a 30 and we'll talk things over and hit reset.
That's right. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Reminding him it's not about this game, it's about the next game and how we want to play. You have a big lead. There's only 5 minutes to go with the game. You can see the guys are getting a little lazy with the passes and having fun. But it's important that you play like you're down, even though you have a big lead.
Coming up next, 7 o'clock, it's the finale of the quarterfinals. Iona, Christ the King. And then Thursday, we switch to the semifinals. We already know one matchup where it's going to be St. Ray's and St. Francis Prep. We suspect Stepanak will hold on to this lead, although it's not like the political race. We're not declaring victory yet for Stepanak. And the winner of this one would take on the winner of the next one. And I can tell you, Pat Massaroni, Oliver, good look down low to Jervis, misses the bunny. Pat Massaroni, he'll be happy that he's in the semifinals, right? And when you get to the Final Four, you play whoever's in front of you. But we've had this conversation before. I don't think he wants any piece of Iona Prep again. Everything that comes with that game, the rivalry, the alums, like, I don't know if he's rooting for Christ the King, because that's a whole nother animal you got to deal with, but.
And Coach is wow. Caressi attacking the rim, drawing the foul. showing that athleticism. But like to your point is, it's tough when it's your rival, but at this point of the year, he's just happy to move on and play whoever's in front of him, you know. He'll focus on the task at hand, and either team is going to be a tough out because at this point, they're all good teams left.
And to that point, although Stepanek has 63 in the day, that's the one thing a lot of these coaches say, right? Like, when you're in the postseason, you're playing really good teams every game, your scoring averages go down, but it's about the other side, right? How good can we play defensively? And Stepanek right now holding Holy Cross to 47.
And that's a great point because you can see them on the defensive and really swarming, getting deflections, challenging shots, and making it really hard for Holy Cross to get easy baskets.
Carbusi attacks the baseline. The kick out. Ratliff returns it to Jervis. Side rim no good. Here comes Crawford in transition. Gets it ahead to take Christina, and the senior finishes at the rim. But through 26 games this year, Stepanek averaging 70 points a game, and they give up 59.6. Rivera, the corner three.
And I love the pass by Ratliff because he's shooting a hot hand. He could have easily taken that shot. Knows Rivera doesn't play as much off the bench. Finds his sophomore shooter in the corner with a beautiful knockdown three.
The kick out, Stanley for three. Front rim no good. So Stepanek in total control here midway through this fourth quarter. Rivera.
Feeling it.
He was feeling it, there's no doubt. 4 of 6 from the field, all of which have been from beyond the arc. Here's Crawford. He has worked his tail off today. Although right now he's hearing an earful from his head coach, Billy Turnage. Turnage in our conversation, we asked him about Stepanek. I said, hey, I got a little bit of a cheat code. I've seen them in the gym 3 times without even really actually technically scouting because he was watching his son play for St. Ray's.
And he had a great game and stepped up when Storrs went out, fouled out, and took over down the stretch. So happy for Ty and Coach Turnage, and I'm sure this is not the performance he wanted from his team, but you're playing the top seed. It's a buzzsaw, and very few teams have the firepower to stay up with the offense that they can put out there.
And that's the thing you hear from the opposing coaches, and we've done a bunch of Stepanek games. You don't have to be perfect, right? But you can't have lapses because Stepanek is too consistent. They of all the teams in this league, 1, they're the deepest, 2, they're probably the longest, and 3, they're the most consistent, and that's a big reason, again, why they've won back-to-back championships, and they're the favorite to win a third. Jervis trying to showtime with Perry, doesn't connect.
Coach does to slow it down and run his offense here.
Got a shout out, by the way, number 24 in the game for Holy Cross. Matt Marchesini, Dad Tommy, former head coach for Holy Cross. Outside of Stanley, Marchesini, probably the most vocal leader. He'll play baseball, but he at least would love to continue his basketball career for a little bit longer here. He'll be called for the foul on the hold. And classy here, right, from Billy Turnage. He wanted to give Marchesini, the senior, the feel of playing here at Rose Hill.
And Billy's doing this long enough and does about the right things and getting those guys, appreciates those guys that help get this team ready, and maybe get some guys some minutes.
And I'll tell you right now, look, Oliver, their season, barring a major comeback, right, it'll end here. It'll end in sub 500. But as we spoke with Billy Turnage, as he calls a timeout here, he said coaches, and he said he referenced you, Oliver, as a former head coach. You always want to be better than the previous year, especially when you're building a culture and starting something new. And that's what Turnage did here. He went from Wings, where he built that program, the public school here in the Bronx, to become the best in the PSAL, right? In the city. And he's trying to build here at Holy Cross. And it was a tough first year, but he's better this year. They went one step further in the diocesan tournament. They went one step further in the intersectional tournament. And with him at the helm, there is no question that Holy Cross is going to continue to improve and get better year after year.
And you could tell he's got some talented young kids in the program. They're going to continue to improve. And there's no question. And they gave some teams headaches this year, right? I mean, they pushed the best to the brink in the Brooklyn Queens. And it's one of those teams that nobody wanted to face in the playoffs. Unfortunately, they ran into a Stepanak juggernaut today. But future's bright at Holy Cross. And the team is in great hands.
Yeah, you lose guys like Tate Christina and Dylan Stanley and Aston Lewis, who helped as seniors be building blocks for what this future is. Because that pass intercepted, Carbusia in the lane. Ooh, pretty reversal.
Degree of difficulty and a little finish. When you have a lead, you can do things like that. Nice job.
But you look at this Holy Cross team, right? You return Jasir Crawford. He'll be a senior. Amusin Tulawase, Devin Bay, Malachi Tummings, who he graduates. He's a senior. KG Clifton, he'll be a senior next year. So a lot of parts returning. And that's not including those guys on the younger levels as well.
That's right.
Ball pops out. Caresi still hustling. Every day he's hustling.
Yeah.
Inside the final 2 minutes here. Caresi, Ratliff, Carbusia. Listen, he's now 2 of 4 from beyond the arc.
And the Stepanak faithful is getting on their feet, and they can feel it. They are a minute and a half away from championship, moving on to the semifinals.
Timeout call, we'll take it with them. 1:21 left. Stepanak ready to book their spot back in the semifinals. Final 1:21 when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
For all the latest Varsity Media updates, including our game schedules, be sure to follow us on social media at Varsity Media, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media's hype videos stand out with dynamic visuals and storytelling. Our primary goal is to create a memorable impression, excitement, and interest that encourages viewers to engage and participate. Our hype video can be shown on stadium video boards, social media, and school websites. Our hype videos are the perfect feature to get your community amped up for the team and the big game.
For the latest news in high school sports, be sure to check out varsitymedia.net or follow us on social media at Varsity Media.
Back here at Rose Hill Gymnasium, Dylan Butler, Oliver Antigua, our entire Varsity Media crew. Final 1:21 of this one, and Stepanak, they took a punch early, and that's how they respond. Caresi with a dunk, as they're now 18 up. Good putback at the cup by Wilson. And this now resembles more of an AAU game at this stretch as we are going up and down. Jack Coco at the scorer's table, and multiple subs for Stepanak as Pat Massaroni gets his starters. Looking on the court, yeah, all 5 starters out. So I have to go a little bit deeper on my chart now, as here's Mayhew inside the final minute of this fourth quarter. An impressive performance by the Crusaders. Jordan Archibald, the kick out. Foul line jumper short by Amir Smith. And Jasir Crawford comes the other way. Aston Lewis. Corner 3 is short. Shot clock is off. And now Pat Massaroni will tell his guys, no shot, just pass the ball around. And we will be on to the semifinals. The defending champs will march on. They will play Thursday night against the winner of our final quarterfinal between Iona and Christ the King. And there you see the live bracket. Stepanak awaiting their opponent. 3 berths are booked. 1 remains. We've sent Oliver Antigua down courtside, and we will get our player of the game momentarily. A lot to choose from for Stepanak. Carbusia did Carbusia things, and Rivera was hot, so was Ratliff. But it's Josiah Jervis, a game-high 21 points. And we'll send it down to the court where Oliver Antigua is with Josiah Jervis.
I'm with here, the player of the game, Josiah Jervis. Congratulations on the win tonight. Big-time performance, 21 points, 4 for 7 from 3. How did that feel shooting the ball today here in this big-time atmosphere?
I feel great. You know, it's playoff time, so I got to bring it all. I got to bring out all, everything.
So now you move on to the semifinals. I know you guys are back-to-back city championships, and you're the hunted. How does it feel to know every time you night out you get the team's best shot, and what do you guys need to do in order to advance to the finals?
Just keep that wheel for me mindset, stay composed, you know, play as a team, share the ball, and we do great.
Congratulations again on your victory, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Dylan, back to you.
Thanks, Oliver, and congratulations to Josiah Jervis and the Crusaders as they are marching on to the semifinals. That'll do it here from quarterfinal number 3 for our entire Varsity Media crew. Ben Turchin, our executive producer. Chris Sweeney is our technical director. Ron Pierre, Kevin Catalano bringing you all those great moving images for Oliver Antigua. Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us from Rose Hill, and stick around for about 30 minutes. We'll have the final quarterfinal matchup next, right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.